To create a Google website, you first log into your Google account, like I am here, and you look for the 3x3 button. It's the apps button. And you drop down and you look for sites. If you don't see it, you go into more. A shortcut is also, if you are logged in, open a new tab and type in sites.google.com and it will take you there. And it'll show you a list of websites you have shared with you or you've created on your own. For some reason, sometimes Google Sites does not present you your lists. So you'll have to play with these side buttons over here, click on delete sites, and then go back to your sites, and that generally gives you the list. So to create a Google site, you click on create and you type in the name of your website. So for this example, I'm going to call this Mr. Gallagher's Practice. Okay, be aware of capitalization, be aware of spacing. Down here, this is the URL. So it's going to look like sites.google.com/a/rnesu.org. Remember, that's your domain. And then here's the website I just typed in. You can create or select a theme. Now remember, you don't want to go too crazy because it's going to be distracting. And in some cases, you may be altering the coding of your site. So I'm going to go with something simple, hence the simple theme. And then I hit create. Now, if you get an error message, so you got to pay attention up here where it says creating your site. If you get an error message, it could be because that website has already been taken. There are other people in this district who might have your name or who might have created that website, and you're competing with students from Otter Valley, Lothrop, Neshabie, so you have to be aware of that. Now, if it goes through, generally it's going to take you to this site. Now, I can also go back to my RNESU websites and see if it's there. So I'm looking for Mr. M. This is an alphabetical list, all right? And I don't see it. How come? Well, I might have to refresh the page in order for it to pop up. Okay, so don't panic if it's not there. Something else you can do is you can always highlight the link and hit enter. That way, if you need to type in, you'll see that eventually it will show up. Okay, so that's what I want you to keep in mind. I'm going to get out of that because I don't want to do this. Now, these are your basic tools. Here's your sidebar. It's popped up. You don't have a horizontal navigational bar. You can use that in a moment. You have your editing tool. You have your new page button. You have your menu, or as I call it, the spoked wheel button. And you also have your sharing button. Please be aware that it's set to private, only to you. So if you are going to share this with other people, you need to be aware that beware of what the purpose is. So if you're going to share it with your classmates, you can do that. All right. You can also share it anyone with public on the web, but please don't do this unless you are told to. Okay. And also, when you do share, you're going to see that it automatically pops up with sending them an email link. You need to choose whether or not that makes sense. If it does, fine. If it doesn't, don't send the email. It just fills up people's inboxes. And then you've got the editing, owning, or viewing. If you give someone else owning rights, you cannot take it back. They have to give it to you. So please be aware. Okay? Now, I'm going to go back to my site. And if you hit the editing tool, you can add text, you can add all types of images, video, which I've got other videos for you to watch later on. Okay? You can also add a new page, and you add a new page by clicking on this. And maybe you want to make this, I'll just test number 1. And I'm going to leave this alone. I'm going to leave this alone. Don't mess with those until you've learned what they do. Okay? So, creating my page, here it is. And you'll see it. It's right over here. But I've got this add file and comment thing. I don't know what that is. I don't really need it either. Okay, for those of you who don't know, adding files is when you can add an attachment. And commenting, you don't want to let other people comment on your site. How do you get rid of that? You go save, and then you go spoked wheel, page settings, and uncheck it. By unchecking it, those will go away. It'll also make your page look cleaner. Okay? Now, this sitemap over here looks pretty awful too. How do I get rid of that? Go to menu, okay, edit site layout, come over here, and notice how the color changes, and you get some other options. If I click right on this area on the navigational bar, not on the sidebar, but on the navigational bar, there's the sidebar. And while I'm here, I'm going to take this out. I don't want the website to automatically organize my work. Okay? But what that means is I have to find my pages. So you click on that, click OK. I'm going to add my other page, my test page. So now I have added all my websites. I want to display this title, and I can change this to my links just to give you an idea of what it can do. And there it goes. So you can see how it looks. Okay. I can also add or subtract tools. I can add a horizontal nav bar. It'll pop up right here. And you'll notice that each area changes color as I highlight it in this format. I can also take out the sidebar. But rather than getting worried about it, I can hit that button and it will come right back. Alright, so that's the basics of a website. We'll give you some more videos later on how to add some more complex things.